Good morning, sunshine. It is Monday, June 10th, and we have all the great conversation starters for you to continue on your week and excel at making connections. Now, let's hit on some points quickly here. While not official yet, Team USA, their roster was leaked for the women's basketball team for the Olympics, and Caitlin Clark was left off the official roster. Now, of course, fans are outraged by the snub of this rookie who has really created a huge wave for women's sports. But it's been reported by unanimous sources that she was left off due to potential backlash of limited playing time. Now, remember, this roster is stacked with an obscene amount of talent to go conquer the world. And Caitlin Clark is a rookie. And these women have been playing for a long time and are very talented. Not that Caitlin Clark is not, but there's a chance that she would not play very much. So, hence, that's why she was left off the roster. Moving on to this Stanley Cup Finals. The Florida Panthers, though they shut out the Edmonton Oilers 3-0 in the first game of the Stanley Cup. And the really unique thing about this game was the fact that it was the first of its kind alternative broadcast done in sign language. Game two is tonight with the teams playing each other again. Moving on to the Belmont Stakes. That's right, we're talking horse racing. For the sixth year in a row, three Triple Crown races had different winners as Dornach dominated the Belmont Stakes on Saturday. Dornach is owned by retired MLB player and World Series champion Jason Worth. Now, he put this big win right up there with winning a World Series with the Philadelphia Phillies, saying that horse racing is the most underrated sport in the world, bar none. Last but certainly not least of our quick points, it was the first time in 80 years that a professional women's sporting event was held at Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. On Saturday evening, the Chicago Red Stars hosted their first game at an MLB venue as part of their Red Stars Take Over Wrigley Field campaign. And they broke the NWSL, or National Women's Soccer League, attendance record with 35,038 fans in attendance. Now, the Red Stars and the Chicago Cubs have an ownership connection. Red Stars owner Laura Ricketts is a member of the Ricketts family, which has controlled the Cubs since 2009. Now let's head on overseas to the French Open. It's the second major of the season and the only one that takes place on clay. The men's and women's winners walked away with the same amount, a $2.56 million prize for winning the individual tournament. Now, carrying on the legacy for his fellow Spaniard Rafael Nadal, Carlos Alcaraz won his first French Open, defeating Alex Zverev. And it's his third career major. He's already won Wimbledon and the US Open, and he becomes the youngest man to win the major final on all three surfaces. Now, that victory catapults Alcaraz above Novak Djokovic to the number two spot. And Yannick, well, he surpassed Djokovic to become the number one ranked player in the world. Now, remember that Novak has spent the most weeks at number one, a total of 428 weeks in that number one spot. The closest record behind him is Roger Federer, who has a record of 237 consecutive weeks at number one. And on the women's side, number one ranked Iga Swiatek, well, she continues to own the French Open, winning her third straight title and fourth overall at Roland Garros. She is the youngest woman to win 4 French Opens. And believe this, her record at Roland Garros is now 35-2. She has only lost 2 matches at Roland Garros, the home of the French Open. Also exciting about that, Coco Gauff won the doubles championship at the French Open. For anything more you'd like to hear about, check out lastnightsgame.com or follow us on social at Last Night's Game. Have a great week ahead.